Hey guys, I don't know if this microphone even is gonna work, but I thought I'd give it a try. Today is not your average video. Today I'm going to be talking about some sensitive subjects to me. And yeah, so I told you guys before in the past that I have this, but it's okay. I'm just gonna make a video about it. So no one, everyone who's wondering what it's about. Oh, I got Lula here, by the way. She's here to support me. Yeah, if you don't know, Lula is a support animal. She's not a very good one, but oh please, I'm a great one. She's a support animal, and she supports me when I have my autistic spasms. She's really good at it, so I'm just playing around when I say she's not that great. She's great. And now she's gonna bite herself or something. We don't have her registered as a support animal yet, but that's basically what she is she's a support animal. My mom has a support dog, and my sister has a support dog. But I have one for different reasons. I have both depression, ADHD, and Autistic Spectrum Disorder. So I guess that would be called ASD. They used to call it Asperger syndrome, but I think they lost that coin or whatever. It's no longer called that, I guess, because every time I go to the office, they don't like to call it Asperger syndrome. So we call it Autistic Spectrum Disorder. So I'm on the spectrum. I'm high functioning autism or autistic. And all that means is that well, I don't really, it's hard because there's not really a definition, really. I'm sure if you looked up online, you could find one. But, yeah, it's, I'm just not normal, and to be honest, who wants to be normal, you know? I have issues with, a lot of things. I overcome them every single day. It's hard to explain what it is, because part of me has been fighting for a long time, fighting for myself, trying to clear my name, and I always hated the fact that I was diagnosed as autistic, because there's a stem that goes with it, or not stem, but a lot of people think negatively when it comes to people with autism. Like, they think of people who can't function and stuff like that. So oh, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I had someone come into my room. Dropping off boxes. And getting a drill. Now I have James in here, who's Maddie's support animal. Again, actually, James is a registered support animal, I believe. She can take him on airplanes and stuff like that. She just has to buy him a seat, But Lula isn't a registered support animal, but every time it's hard to explain. I had a traumatic brain injury as a kid, or a baby. When I was born, I had a traumatic brain injury. I came out opposite of what you should come out, so, my head was squished during labor. I almost didn't survive, and they had me into an incubation tent, basically, and at least this is what my mom told me, because I wasn't really, there mentally. But, yeah, they put me into the incubation little tent thingy, and, the ICU or whatever, I forget what they called it, my mom didn't see me for 2 days, after she delivered me. And then when she finally did see me, they told her basically that I would never be able to read, write, graduate from school, or tie my shoes. So, yeah, she was given this, and she decided to keep me, luckily. Well, it's not like she really had much of a choice, but, I like to think she did. Yeah, she was given this information, And then the first couple days she had me at her own house, we learned that I was deaf. Uh, I couldn't hear anything. So for the first few years of my life, I was deaf. So with that being said, I was always behind. My learning curve was, even though I went to school at a normal age, I was 3 years behind mentally. So I was like a baby still when I was in kindergarten, and I acted that way, and they held me back a grade. And even though they didn't think I was ready for school still, they didn't want to hold me back another grade, so they let me go, and the rest is history. I struggled with school my whole life. I was always behind. I never could understand what was going on. And with moving all over the country, I wasn't a military brat, but or whatever they call them, but I did move around just like they would. Everyone thought I had military parents, but in the end, I just had parents that would find work elsewhere. So we moved all over the place. We moved to California, Texas, Virginia, all over. And yeah, so my learning curve was really hard, and I never was really given a chance from the schooling system. They would, because schools don't really care about, their students. At least that's what some schools might care about their students, but most schools that I have experienced, they only care about, the scores that their students get, because then they get more funding. And when a student isn't doing good, they put them into special classes. Not saying I didn't need special classes, but I was put with the students that couldn't even function, and that looked really bad for me. And developed this, hatred for not special needs people, but the people who would, use special needs and make fun of them. And I was around a lot of people who made fun of people with special needs, and it was horrible. It was very horrible. I even went to a school, and I know the reason now why they made why the special needs students did this, and I will tell you in a second. But the school I keep saying made, but the school had the special needs kids serve lunch to the normal kids, and what they said they were doing was teaching them life skills. And because when they needed to have a job when they got out of school, and the only job that they probably could do is probably fast food service, which not making fun of anyone who works in fast food service, but that's what they believed. And so they had the special needs kids serve lunch, and I was one of those special needs kids that served lunch to the normal kids. And even though I know most of the special needs kids that I was in class with couldn't recognize when they were being made fun of, but I could. And all of the people in line would make fun of me, and I just had to grit my teeth and bear it. And it was horrible. The school was horrible for me. I hated school, and when I got cancer and missed a lot of days of school, not knowing I had cancer, of course, I had a lot of sick days, and they said, "Hey, you took too many sick days. You have to drop out." Basically, is what the school said. And then I dropped out, then found out I had cancer, and the rest is history. Last year I got my GED, which was a huge accomplishment. I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I cried heavily. Like I said in the beginning of this video, they said I would never graduate from high school. I'd never be able to read. I'd never be able to write. I'd never be able to tie my shoes. That's what they said. And they were being generous in saying that. And I was able to accomplish 3 of those things, but graduating school was always something that was out of my grasp, it seemed. But last year I studied and I tried my hardest, and I barely passed. And now I know, like, my sister passed with flying colors. There was one thing that she's super smart though, so that's a bad comparison. But Um, and my brother graduated high school with pretty good grades too. So my siblings are really smart, and I like to think I'm smart too. But it took me longer to get to where everyone is. I do have a math disability, or whatever they call it. I forget what they call it. Math actually literally hurts me to do. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but there is a disability where math, like, literally it hurts your brain, and that's where I'm at. I can't do math very well. I somehow passed the math test on in my GED, and yeah, but I have autistic spectrum disorder, and I don't know if this is part of autistic spectrum disorder because I've never really asked questions because I'm so embarrassed by it, because I feel like I'm not normal, you know? And I never asked anyone, but I have spasms. And basically, I'm like daydreaming, and I'm having, my hands are wagging in my lap, and I can't control it. It's almost like a seizure. And we thought it was a seizure for the longest time. And that stems to another story, but that's a darker story, and I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I have these spasms, and they hurt my brain. Like, they hurt my head a lot when I have these spasms, but they're not that bad, you know? It's just me daydreaming, and it's just me being excited for a daydream is basically what it is. And Lula there, she moved, but Lula will, when I hand wag, is what I call it, she'll come up to me and she'll comfort me through that hand wagging. And then I snap out of it, I pet my dog, and everything's fine, you know? But autism is a really big part of my life, and it's something I try to ignore, and it's not something you can ignore. It's something that you probably should, words. Something you should, I can't think of the word, but, you should, think about it, you know? You shouldn't put it, you know, push it away. Wow, my eyes look really brown in this video, but believe it or not, my eyes are hazel. And that's ADHD. I'm just switching topics like crazy, but yeah, I have autistic spectrum disorder. For the longest time, I used to have an MRI, and the MRI, I had a cyst in my brain. It was very small, like not like maybe that big, and it pressed down where I have my headaches. And I still have those headaches up in the left hemisphere, but they've gotten better over time, and the last time I got an MRI, they couldn't find the cyst anymore. So that was great news. The headaches they're still there. They're still not prevalent anymore, but they're still there sometimes. Sometimes I'll get a headache when I hand wag too much. And when I hand wag too much, the left hemisphere starts to light up, and it hurts. I even once had a scan where the doctor sent me home with this cast around my head, and it had a bunch of sensor stickers all over my head, and they tried to catch me when I would a hand wag and figure it out. And what they figured out is that every time I hand wag, the left hemisphere would light up. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, they always said it was part of my autistic spectrum disorder, or my Asperger syndrome. And yeah, but Lula helps a lot with that. She's a really good girl, and I want to get her serviced, but she has to go through rigorous training, and I don't know if she's up for it, but she's such a good girl. She's such a good girl, guys, and I don't know what I do without my dog. She helps with depression. She helps with my anxiety disorder, which I forgot to mention that I have. She helps with my autistic spectrum disorder. She doesn't really help me with my ADHD, but you know, you can't ask for everything. So yeah, that's my autistic. It's not really much of a story per se, but that's my autistic spectrum story. If you want to look at it like that way, you know. I don't know why I felt the need to make this video today, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. Maybe I'll make another video about depression. Maybe I'll make another video about ADHD. Who knows? And it's not much to tell other than I just like lose focus and talk about random subjects all the time. But yeah, my anxiety and depression could be a video. But I thought I'd make my autistic spectrum disorder video, and yeah, not much else to say other than it's been a burden on me for my whole life, and to think that even though it had grammatical issues, and there was some awkward phrasing in my first book, I released a damn book, you know, and that's something that I don't think the doctors that gave birth to me or delivered me, that's something that they probably never thought I'd do, and I like to think that's a big accomplishment, because it was something, I mean, all the things they told me I couldn't do, and they were making fun of me when they said I wouldn't be able to tie my shoes, which was horrible. I mean, this doctor, his name was Dr. Jacob, and or Dr. Jacobs, I don't remember. I don't remember if his first name was Jacob or his last name was Jacob. My mom doesn't remember. But he was a horrible doctor. He was my mom's delivery was his first delivery. He had help, obviously, but it was his first delivery as a doctor, and he screwed up. He screwed up big time. I mean, a lot of it is just the way I came out, but he got forceps and put him in a hole, which crushed my brain. So he's the reason why I even have autistic spectrum disorder. At least that's what I like to think. The doctor messed up, and we could have sued. But it was too late. By the time we found out we could sue, I was like 5 years old. So, and I mean, you don't know what's going to be wrong with your child until he's 5 years old. So, not really fair. But anyways, yeah, Mom didn't know. It was her first child. Her first child that she actually had died, and then she had me, who almost died. Then Maddie almost died. Then Jake was perfectly healthy. So, well, Maddie didn't almost die, but she had a low, what was it? She had a bad blood count or something like that, and they thought she had leukemia, so they ran her through a bunch of tests, which was the same doctor who delivered my sister, and yeah, he wasn't good. He wasn't a good doctor. I'm sure he might be good now after all the failures he's done, but he wasn't a great doctor. And sorry, I have a really negative, sour taste in my mouth when I talk about the doctor, because I probably could have been a perfectly normal child, but they forceps delivery, sunny side up, screwed me up. So yeah. But I'm doing good now. I've done a lot of things they said I wouldn't do. I mean, I've made YouTube friends. I've graduated my GED. Sure, it wasn't my high school diploma, but I got my GED, which is the high school equivalent. So I like to think that I did something good. Hold on one second. But yeah, that is my life with autistic spectrum disorder. It's hard. There's a lot of things I can't do. I can't remember a lot of things at once. I have social problems, which is fine. But overall, I like to think I'm just normal, like you. I just have some disabilities, you know. Some disabilities that hamper my life a little bit. But other than that, that is my life with autistic spectrum disorder or Asperger syndrome, depending on how you want to call it. It doesn't hinder my life that much anymore. It used to, but not anymore. I'm an adult now, and things are different. I don't have that school where I have to go to school and be around a bunch of kids my age. You know, the social anxiety is no longer there, and yeah. But yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling at this point. But that's my life with the autistic spectrum disorder. I will talk to you in the next video, guys. The next video is probably going to be a better video, like a book haul video. I'm hoping it's going to be a book haul video. I'm not even close to finishing any books at the moment, so you're not going to get a review until like another 2 weeks. I hope. I'm 21% through Asher Ellis's book, Curse of the Pigman, or Pigman. It's very, very good. I am enjoying it a lot. I'm at a point in the book I'm pissed off, you know, because the guy, I don't want to spoil anything, but the guy, something happened to the guy, and they're all accusing him of something, and it's pissing me off. So I can't wait to read more. I love when books do that to me. I'm also reading Worms, which is awesome, by James R. Montague. Excuse me. And yeah. So that, I got a piece of hair just kind of dangling off my head here. I can't get it. Oh well. Yeah, next video probably is going to be a book mail. It's probably going to be on Tuesday. Or I will do a video about my depression and anxiety, if that's something you guys would want. But this is my life with autistic spectrum disorder or Asperger syndrome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know you didn't, but at least thank you for watching the video and listening. I appreciate it a lot. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you have a spooky night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.